So let's get started. So what I wanted to do today primarily is there's a very, very sweet meditation by Lama Yeshe called the Hum meditation. It's in the Discovering Buddhism session 5. And that session 5 is all about how to prepare for death. But this meditation can be done, it's just it's not even a preparation for death, really. But that's the place where Lama Yeshe taught it. So it's extremely sweet. It involves a breath, it involves visualization. And of course, I will read you Lama Yeshe's words because the English is so sweet, you know. He's somehow always just a little bit crazy English sounding. And then when you listen to his words, it just somehow always makes sense. So I just find it very, very sweet. So we'll do a bit of that. But first I wanted to start with a little bit of movement. Just so we can kind of, you know, I've been discovering lately this, I don't know if anyone's heard of it, this thing called fascia. And the fascia is, oh, no one's in the compound, okay. This fascia is this kind of like layer of connective tissue that's kind of over all the muscles and the organs, and it holds everything together. And initially the doctors and scientists, they felt really that it was just a casing. But actually it is a lot more than that. And it's made up of mostly collagen. And it is very, very important in terms of us keeping moving as we get older. So one of the things that you'll notice, well, I've started taking collagen powder, and I noticed it made a huge difference to my body. So I think if you're all because we're all getting older here, I can see most of us. If you are not moving, I would encourage you to start moving your body, even if you're just walking, because all this connective tissue is only going to start getting stiffer as we get older. And they have this saying, use it or lose it. And I have to say, I wasn't really doing terribly much exercise when I first got up here to Marin from Santa Cruz. And then once I did start exercising, you know, I can get out of bed in the morning without being in pain. And it just, I just can't say enough. In order to be able to do your practices, in order to be able to serve sentient beings, it's just what we're doing here. You got to stay healthy. And one way to stay healthy also protects your brain. So one way to stay healthy is to keep the body moving. So I would encourage you, if you can, to move. Anyway, I think I'm sounding a bit like Michelle Obama. All right. So who has a tennis ball here? You got one? You've all got one? Okay. So what we're going to do, I might have to put myself on change my headphones. Okay. So I'm going to do this, and I want to make sure that you can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay, great. I can't really hear you. All right. Okay. So I'm standing up here. Can you still hear me? Yeah? Okay. So you have a tennis ball. Maybe I'll shift the camera. This will be easier. So just underneath your foot. So we're just going to massage the foot with this tennis ball. And I would suggest you stand up because you can put some more weight on it. So just press into it. So press into the balls of the feet, the toes, the balls of the feet, the arch of the foot, and then go to the heel of the foot. I'm going to stand back a bit. So the toes, the ball of the foot, the arch of the foot, put all your weight in it. And you can feel a little bit of a massage there, you know? And then just do it again. The toes, the ball of the foot, the arch, and your heel. And then you can just kind of just press into it. You know, we do abuse our feet quite a lot, you know, I don't know, for a lot of women, we just kind of squash our feet into high heels. We put our We shorten our Achilles tendons and our calves. I grew up in Australia, so I had bare feet a lot. So my feet aren't too badly damaged, and I didn't like wearing high heels. So I don't have too many foot problems. Okay, so now just go to the left foot or the other foot and just do the same thing. Just kind of your toes, the ball of your foot, the arch, and your heels. The ball of the foot and the toes. So just keep doing that. I just received a text message. I'm just going to make sure it's not someone that wants to get in here. Just keep doing that while I check. Okay. All right. So now just feel. Stand. We're going to do a little bit of movement before we sit down again. And just feel. So have your feet in a parallel position and just rock backwards and forwards. Can't see. Am I too far away? Okay, so just rocking backwards and forwards. So you don't have to lift your heels up. You don't have to lift your toes up. Just notice this very subtle movement of shifting the weight from the back of the heels to the balls of the feet. And while you're doing this, imagine that spine, that is that string of coils of light that we use in the evening, is lengthening from the coccyx all the way up through the crown of the head. So you're actually, at the same time that you're doing this, you're just getting a bit longer. So don't have to lift your feet. If you have balance is an issue for you, just don't move very far. Keep the knees bent. Try not to lock the back of the knees. And now add into this action of stabilizing your pelvic area. So you can imagine just engaging all the muscles around the pelvis and just imagine you're just pulling up. So imagine you're pulling up your pants, you're pulling up all the muscles in this area. So this is kind of, this is your center. So this is where we need to move from, the center. So you can place one hand on the belly and one hand on the lower back, the sacrum, and just imagine that you're being pulled. Perhaps there's a piece of string through you, backwards and forwards. So you're going up. The spine is lengthening. So the reason we're doing this is because we don't want to be doing this. It's the whole body that's moving forward. All right, and now we're going to add the arms. So just imagine you're kind of walking through a pool of water. So as you rock back, arms back. As you move forward, arms forward. So this is the first in this kind of like practice called Tai Chi Chi, which is not to be confused with Tai Chi Chuan. It's called rocking motion. Actually kind of hard to get. But we're just moving backwards and forwards, very gentle. So you imagine you're moving through kind of thick, heavy air, but the rest of the body is light. You're getting long. You've engaged your center. So it gives you some strength, actually. So this is kind of like a moving meditation. This is something you probably wouldn't want to do the arms, but you can stand in the supermarket and move backwards and forwards while you're waiting to check out. So actually just really try and imagine that you are collecting sort of like thick, heavy, like oil or sand or air. So we're not just kind of moving like this, just very mindfully. So you can feel it. So bring your hands together Rub them. And put your hands over your eyes. What do you feel? Bring your hands together. Okay, now relax. Bring your hands together. Rub your hands. And then just very slowly pull them apart. And then just kind of go like this. So what's in the middle there? It's like not nothing, but it is nothing, but yet there's something, kind of energy. Okay, enough of that. All right, so there we are. So now I want to just come back to sit down. I just want to move how's everybody's backs? Does anyone have a stiff spine? You have a bad back. Shayla, where's your back bad? Where's it sore?
Lower back and then shoulder and neck. So
okay, all right, just for Shayla, let's do this one thing. All right, everybody, get up again. It's gonna make you guys move whether you like it or not. See this ball here? So you're gonna imagine you're rounding your back over a ball. You're not falling straight forward. Shayla, you need to be really careful here because I don't know what kind of back injury you have. But so what we're going to do is just imagine that you've got this string of pearls of light, right? So you're stretching up, like you could almost drawing a line on the ceiling with a crayon. So up and over and forward. Just relax. Allow your arms to drop. Shayla, only go as far as you can without it hurting. And then just imagine you've got this ball underneath you. You're dropping down, 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 down. Just go down as far as you can. You can put your arms like this. So you're holding and just move from side to side. Keep your knees bent. So you're releasing some of the tissue in the lower back. Now, come back to center. Allow the arms to drop and just vertebrae by vertebrae. Imagine someone is walking up your spine. Again, you've got this ball underneath you. The last thing to come up is your head. Like this. And you can do this more than once. You can actually even just go to here. Just your upper thoracic. And bring the spine up. Let's take it forward a bit. And vertebrae by vertebrae. Just allow your spine to come up. And stand. Okay. How's everyone doing? Do you feel a little bit looser? How are you doing, Hin? Was that okay for you?
I think you're very well. Yeah, I hurt my back too, but my taking the chemo, it hurt the whole body, and not only the back, everywhere. So yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
So it's something something to remember to do is to keep your body moving, particularly if you're going through chemo, I think, because it probably, while it's helping to heal, it's also, there's a lot of toxins that the body needs to kind of get out in that whole process. So if you're able to do just some little stretching, do you have a PT that you go to, physical therapist?
No, I don't. I don't, but I go to acupuncture.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, great. So the next thing we can do because I also have a neck issue, is just sitting here again. Make sure your sits bones are firmly on your chair. And your feet are flat on the floor in a parallel position like we do when we're doing the meditation. Imagine your spine is sort of lengthening. And then just tip the head forward. You can, if you like, in order to create a little bit of traction in the back of the neck, you can just very gently
interlace the fingers, just very gently. Imagine you're kind of pulling the spine up, your skull up and over that imaginary ball. So you're stretching these muscles, very strong muscles in the back of the neck. And you can just pull your head. And then as you come back up, you can maybe just resist a bit with your hands, head into the hands. Just resist the back of the head into the hands and then release. Okay, and then now take your, I'm opposite to you. Are we going left or right? I'm going right, you guys are going left. All right, just yeah, and just very gently lengthen the neck. So we're not just yanking it, just very gently lengthen. If you want a little bit more stretch, just very gently stretch it up. And then while you're in this position, you can drop your head forward. So you can just feel that kind of, there's probably quite a bit of tension here. And then come back to center. Take your head over to the other side. Again, just stretch out. It's quite sore for me. And again, allow the neck to come forward, back, forward, up and forward, and come back to center. How's everyone doing? Okay. No one's dizzy? No? You shook your head there for a minute. I was like, oh no. Okay, so just let's bring our shoulders up. Take a nice deep breath. Ah. Okay, and then just shoulders forward, up and back. And forward, up and back. And forward, up and back. And the other way around. Back, up, forward. Good morning, Mary. Back, up, forward. Back, up. Probably afternoon when Mary. Okay, everybody. And just shake it out. Just shake it. You can bounce up and down. And as we're getting older, you can see everything just kind of goes floppy. All right. One more thing. Stand up. So with your knees bent and with your pelvis stable, because if you have lower back issues and you don't do this, you could hurt yourself. But I just want you to just very gently, so you're moving this upper part of the body here, the rib cage, just from side to side. I just love doing this. So you just imagine your arms are flying out and back. Relax your arms in. Allow your arms to flop as much as you can. There you go. Move from side to side and down. Let the arms flop. There we go. Just like that. If you can make it. Just very gently. Not too much stress on the body. And try, Michael, just the upper part of the body. Try and keep just from the rib cage. There you go. You'll have less movement, but you're just moving the upper part of the back. And okay, all right, everyone, just relax. So now we've moved a bit. We're in a little bit of a better position to sit. And I'm going to change my headphones. How's everyone feeling? Doing okay? No one's dizzy, puffing, or... Okay, here I am. I'm back. So let's just settle into, before we settle, I just wanted to hear how everyone's doing. Oh, we lost someone. Who did we lose? Doesn't matter.
Does anyone have anything to share? Larry. Okay. I'm not sure who Larry is. Michael, are you okay?
Sorry, I had to send a note to my daughter.
Oh, okay. So how's everyone doing? And what is it you would like to do this morning, apart from anything that I've already suggested? Is there something you'd like to work on? We have a little bit of time. Or is there anything you want to share?
Venerable Katie, from a physical perspective, is that what you're referencing?
Oh, anything.
Oh, okay. I had a hip replacement 3.5 months ago, and it has been fussy ever since.
Wow.
So I'm in the process of trying to figure out why it's fussy. And we haven't figured it out.
Are you sitting a lot at a desk?
No.
Wow. So there's inflammation there.
There's inflammation. I have an effusion that I had tapped about 10 days ago. And they sent the fluid off to rule out infection, and it came back negative, which I was really grateful for.
Yeah.
But we don't know why there's inflammation. We don't know why there's an effusion. We're just trying to figure it out.
Okay. This is you and your doctor.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, I'm really sorry. And does movement agitate it? Like if you go for a walk or?
Yeah.
Movement agitates it.
Weight bearing is the toughest.
Oh, I'm really sorry. Wow. That is not supposed to be the outcome of a hip replacement, is it?
It's not.
No.
And I had my hip replaced 6 years ago. And during the surgery, which is a risk, my femur broke.
Oh.
And that recovery was easy. I mean, in 4 weeks, I just could do anything and everything.
Wow.
And this one has really been very different.
Wow.
So I don't know.
So I'm really sorry to hear that. No, I don't know enough about hip replacement, but the only thing that I could suggest is that do you do any yoga or any kind of movement at all?
I do. The best thing for me is movement in water.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Several times a day, a week, I'm in a pool that is 86 degree temperature, which is warm. It's heavenly though. And I'm buoyant. So I'm doing lots of range of motion exercises. I'm in a class that's called Joint Effort, and it's geared towards fussy joints.
Wow. Well, you're doing everything you can, right?
I mean, I think I am. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the only other thing that I could suggest is that what a nutritionist might suggest, or a homeopath, or even an acupuncturist, is to look at what foods in your diet are causing inflammation. Like things like sugar. There are certain foods that are inflammatory to the body, and if you're sensitive, can affect people differently. But there is that whole lot of research now coming out in that talks about inflammation. But the main thing, I guess, is just to work with your physician to get, because the other one was okay, this one isn't. So I'm quite sure he's probably also trying to work with it as well. But anyway, thank you for sharing that. I'm really sorry to hear. Yeah, I mean, because chronic pain is difficult, and it just kind of it's a little, it hurts the heart a bit, because I think every time something, when I hurt my back before, I felt like my body had betrayed me somehow. You do kind of feel a little bit like, wait, what happened? But anyway, it's I know from my own experience, it can be a long, slow road coming back. So anyway, I'm really sorry to hear, but I'm hoping that it does sound like that swimming would be, the movement in the water, it does sound like it's going to be the best thing for you. And then when you can put some weight on it, maybe some yoga as well. And, acupuncture, I have to say, I couldn't get in to see the chiropractor for 3 months when I first got up here. And I went to an acupuncturist and I did this Tai Chi Chi that we've been doing, and it alleviated the pain. I can't explain why. The only thing I can think of is that it helped to reduce inflammation a bit. But, I didn't have a hip replacement, but wasn't really behaving the way it should. It was a slipped sacrum. But anyway, I just found it helpful. I mean, it didn't fix it, but it alleviated pain. So it does sound like you're doing whatever you can. So I would just keep doing that until your physician can sort it out. Yeah. So we're all rooting for you, Barbara. What a pain. All right. So let's just settle into, excuse me, our meditation posture. And I want to do all of our settling, then our 9-round breathing, and then we'll do Lamy Eshi's Oma Hum. And then I want to find out, which will take a little while, I want to find out how you all experienced it, how it was for you after. So let's just settle into our meditation posture. And excuse me, I always seem to do this after I've started. Feet are in a parallel position with the knees a hip's width apart. And you're sitting on your sits bones. If you're on a chair, if you're in a couch, try not to lean back into that couch. You want to be on something quite firm. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So try and put some space in between those vertebrae, some length in the spine. And if you've seen a photograph of fascia, if you know what it is, just imagine it's, as you're breathing in and out, it's kind of loose and elastic and pliable. It's not stiff. Now imagine you're drawing a circle on the ceiling or a line on the ceiling with the crown of your head. So you're going to be going up and over as you tip your head forward, a little bit of length in the back of the neck. Eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose if they were open. For the 7-point posture, the tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. The jaw is relaxed. So as we've been doing, just bring your mind, your awareness to the crown of the head and release the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth. Relax the jaw. Go to the back of the head and release any tension in the base of the skull. Relax your ears, your inner ear, temples, and the back of the tongue. That helps to release the jaw. And release any tension in the back of the neck. Allow your shoulders to drop down. Relax the throat, the chest, the belly, the limbs. Excuse me. And hands, feet, fingers, toes. So wriggle your fingers and toes and just let them go. And see how long you can go before you start fidgeting with your fingers and your toes. For me, it's never very long. I like to keep moving. But when you're in deep meditation, physical movement can be a little bit distracting for the mind. So bring the mind to the breath and just notice the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. So the air you can feel at the base of the nose, or in the center of the nose, or at the tip of the nostrils. And you'll just notice the air as you're inhaling and exhaling just flows in across those hairs in the inside of the nostrils and out again. So the air is a little bit cooler as you're inhaling and exhaling. Take a nice deep breath. If there are any sounds in your environment, just allow them to be there. So try not to follow with the mind. I noticed just then somebody, next door neighbor, put something into their recycling, and my mind immediately went there. So we're very happily distracted quite easily. So just allow the mind to be at peace and to just allow things without needing to go and investigate. So now check what's going on in your mind. Or whatever it is, whatever thoughts there are arising, just allow those thoughts to be there. So if you have some stressed or angry, difficult thoughts, happy thoughts, we just try not to criticize, try not to follow a story, just allow the thoughts to arise. And just to flow on. So without catching the thoughts, you'll notice that they do dissipate. They'll just go, they'll be replaced by new ones. So we put ourselves on the bank of our river. And how is that river today? Is it clear? Is it moving slowly? Is it turbulent? Is it muddy? Is there debris in there? So just allow that to flow, and you'll know that while you're sitting on the bank of your river, you're safe, you're free from the river. So bringing to mind some people, some sentient beings, and these are the ones who are in our life. This is the beginning of the meditation on compassion, developing bodhicitta. So they start always with equanimity in the Lamrim. And so you start by thinking of all the people in your life who are your friends, your loved ones. We have devotion to these people. We love them. We take care of them. You know, they may have a few problems, but generally they're in our lives. They're solid. They have our hearts. And we've got their backs, and they have ours. And then there's people in our lives who are not so great for us. You know, they're a bit difficult for our mind. That's okay. You don't have to love absolutely everyone. We just try, and we can develop this idea that it might be something that we could explore in the future. But sometimes people have harmed us greatly, and we just know to keep away. And then there's those strangers in our life. These are people who we just don't know. We pass them on the freeway. We pass them in the street, in the supermarket. And we don't really think about them much after. We don't care about them terribly. We're certainly not setting up, our wills with those people in mind. But interestingly, these folk can change place at any time. And maybe they did in your life, this friend, this person that you didn't like, and this person that you didn't know. So maybe there was a stranger in your life in 2018 who is now very beloved. Maybe there's someone that you didn't like very much who now is a very dear friend. You never know how it's going to change. And one way to think about these people when we've definitely put them in these categories, that person is my friend, this person I don't like, this person I have no idea who they are. They're actually all the same in their wish to be happy and their wish to be free from suffering. And in having this amazing capacity for creativity and love, potential for enlightened mind. So we'll do these meditations today for the benefit of all these people of our life, and by extension, everyone, every sentient being, every bird, every insect, every dog, every cat. And I just received a message from Mary. Her mum's very ill, so she's had to leave the class. So we can think about Mary's mum. Take a nice deep breath and just notice if you've slumped. I noticed I had, so just imagine you're lengthening your spine. And just feel. And we'll just do a couple of minutes of silent meditation. Then we'll do our 9-round breathing. And I'd like to do some evening out of the inhalation and exhalation, but we'll go into that. Let's just do some meditation first. If you make it 3 minutes, 4 minutes. And it's just focusing on the breath. So you're just allowing the air to flow in and out through the nostrils. Keep your attention at the nostrils. Don't follow the air into the body. Just keep the tip focus at either the base or the tip or the middle of the nostril. When your mind starts to wander off, and it will, once you realize your mind has wandered, very gently bring the mind back to the breath. Everyone just relax and feel. And where are you at now in comparison to how you were when you first joined the Zoom at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, wherever you are? So we'll just move into our 9-round breathing. And for those of you who haven't done this before, I will mirror you. So you start by breathing in through the right nostril. And you imagine you're breathing in radiant white light and that it's really blissful and it's clean and it's clear. So in order to even out the breaths, I would suggest for those people who are not used to doing this, just start by inhaling for a count of 4. And you pause at the top of the breath and breathe out through the left nostril, again for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Just let all the air go, and you're breathing out this time thick black yucky smoke, and you're breathing out all your unhealthy desire and attachment energy, grasping, neediness, not feeling enough, feeling anxious, all this kind of energy, this spinning kind of energy. Just breathe it out. It's thick black yucky smoke. Do that 3 times. Breathe in through the left. Again, for a count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pausing at the top of the breath. And then breathe out through the right. 4, 3, 2, 1. All your anger energy as this thick black yucky smoke. And then breathing in through both nostrils for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathing out. 4, 3, 2, 1. All your ignorance energy as thick black yucky smoke. And again, it disappears into space. And ignorance is being ignorant of not knowing the way things truly exist. That's in the kind of full-on Buddhist idea. But if you are not particularly Buddhist, you can just be ignorant of things you don't know, not knowing how to get from one place to the next. Your mind is kind of clouded and unclear. You don't know how to find something out. So you can make it like that. So we'll do 3 sets of 3 in our own time. Okay. I'll put myself on mute. So just relax, have a little wriggle and feel, and just notice if there's a difference between before we started and after. So we'll do another 3 or 4 minutes of single point of concentration. You know, Lama Yeshe said that's about as much as we really could do in terms of our concentration. So we'll just do this for now. And keep the mind on the breath. So again, if you notice your mind is moving off, just very gently bring it back and keep the mind focused at the base of the nostrils. Everyone, just relax. How's everybody doing? Was there a difference? Did you notice any difference? You don't have to say anything, but just notice in your mind whether there was some difference between before and after. And how was the evening out the breaths for everyone? Was it helpful? Okay. So I have to say, when I first started doing that particular exercise in yoga, I could actually only manage an exhale to the count of 4. And then now I can do almost 11 or 12. So it just is kind of extraordinary when you start to use the breath, how you can expand your capacity. So I don't know how that happened, but it did. I just noticed it started getting it just kind of increased. So it's always good to have good lung capacity as we get older. It affects everything. And so one of the things that evening the breath out is to help stabilize the mind. So it's a good stabilizer. Breath is life. Life is breath. So, as they say, not to sound too cliched, but I don't think we pay terribly much attention to how we are breathing. So anyway, good to think about that. So now what I would like to ask, if anybody would like a bio break, you can do it now. You can have a little bio break if you need one now. But if you don't, we will keep going. Or you can have a sip of water, which I'm going to do. Do you like this is going to be us one day. All right. So I want to share a couple of things. Who's hosting? Michael, you're hosting, right? Can you enable me to share screen? Okay. Oh, not yet. Oh, no, I can. Okay. So for those of you who don't know, this is Lama Yeshe here. And so this is the meditation of life. And you can see, look, he's a monk, but he's got a belt around his waist. He's got tennis shoes on. He's got a bright pink shirt on underneath his donka. So he was really quite an extraordinary Lama, but incredibly, you wouldn't have known from his outside appearance. He was very charismatic. I never met him, but all of his students absolutely they still cry when they talk about him. So his teachings are kind of really amazing. And this is who founded our organization, FPMT, along with Lamsa Primshet. So I'm going to close this one. Don't know if I can. There I can. So this is for those of us, we're not all wonderful visualizers. So here we have Om, Ah, and Hum. So there it is for people who would like a reference. And I put them in this one will be on the crown of the head usually, but in this meditation it will be something a little place different. This will be at the throat and this will be at your heart. So I quite like this because it looks like it's radiating light. So let's just settle into our meditation posture. And I'm going to, this is Lama Yeshe's Om Ah Hum meditation. And it's not specifically a meditation on the death process, but Lama Yeshe taught this during his life and death and after death course. And the transcript of that you can find it on FPMT under Discovering Buddhism. It's session 5. So Lama Yeshe would say, let's just settle into our meditation posture. And particularly with those people with low back issues, if you need to stand up and stretch your back at any time, you feel very welcome to do so, okay? Because we've been sitting for a while, so you can have a wriggle if you want. So just sit comfortably. Have your hands wherever you want, wherever it's comfortable. Have your hips, sits bones. Sit on your sits bones, your shoulders over your hips, and your ears over your shoulders as best you can. So without overdoing anything muscularly, just imagine your heart chakra, your sternum here, is reaching towards, it's reaching forward and up. So this just helps to lift the rib cage a bit, but try not to put any weight on the lumbar part of the spine. We're not throwing our chest out. We're just visualizing there's maybe a string pulling from your heart chakra outwards. So that just helps you to be a little straighter and helps to maybe ameliorate some of this roundness that we can get in our shoulders. So just lengthen the spine. And when you're meditating, according to Lama Yeshe, don't just squeeze yourself. Sit comfortably and let your breath energy flow naturally. And just be who you are. However you are turning up today, wherever you're at, this is who you are. And it's okay. And don't think, I'm a meditator. Don't think, I'm humble. Don't think, I'm an egoist. Just don't think anything. Just be, just feel. And the first part of this meditation is purification of the body. So again, with your hands placed wherever is most comfortable, visualize the white arm at the center of your brain. The red R at your throat, and the blue horn at your heart. And these letters are made of radiant light. And if it's too difficult to visualize Tibetan or Sanskrit, you can visualize them in English or any other language. You can also imagine, if letters is too complicated, just imagine light. White light in the brain, red light at the throat, blue light at the heart. Concentrate on the white arm in your brain. Recognize this white arm is the pure energy of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, their bodies. And if you have a teacher, spiritual guide, you can imagine this is that energy, that their pure energy. So now we're going to use our breath and our voice to make the sound Om, and visualize that radiant white light emanates from the syllable Om and goes down your central, Lama Yeshe call it your central psychic channel. So this is not something that's physical in the body. Well, they haven't found it yet, but it's spoken about in yoga, it's spoken about in Hinduism, it's Buddhism. This central channel. And we have at each chakra, we have like these nadis, and they get kind of knotted. So all these kind of breath, meditation, visualization, mantra, sound, it all helps even the mudras. Lama Yeshe said this, the turning mudra, which you may have seen, this one, that helps to unlock the knotted nadis at our heart. So there's many things that we are doing that are helpful for us physically, psychologically, and on a level that we don't understand. And some of it's quite esoteric. So it's important to imagine this light is filling your whole body with blissful, radiant, white light energy, and all conceptions and impure energy of the body are cleansed and purified. And it's important to visualize your entire body from head to toe is completely full of blissful, radiant, white light energy. So really feel that. So we'll start by making the sound of Om just continuously. And keep going with the Om, just imagining your entire body is completely full of blissful, radiant, white light energy. And you're purifying your body. When you stop making the sound, try not to think or do anything. Try and really be in touch with your stillness. Perfectly still, fully aware, unconcerned with good or bad, not reacting, free of any internal conversation, with all your attention on the light consciousness at the center of your brain. So really be there. Be intensely aware and let go without sluggishness, without distraction, without expectation. Intensive awareness leads to the experience of zero or egolessness, emptiness, nothing. Comprehend this intense awareness and let go. Expand your mind. Now is the purification of the speech. And this time concentrate on the red R, R-A-H, at your throat chakra. Like the sun at sunset. Recognize that this red R is the pure speech of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, all the enlightened beings. The pure speech of your teachers, if you have one. Make the sound R. We'll do this for about 2 minutes. And as we do this, imagine that radiant red light emanates from the syllable, goes down your central psychic channel, and fills your whole body with blissful, radiant red light energy. And all conceptions and impure energy of speech are cleansed and purified. And now as we finish, just be, just feel without any expectation, any interpretation, and in an intense state of awareness of your own consciousness, your own place on the planet. Still. Understand your experience of the non-dual, the non-self-existent I of nothingness, zero, empty space, And you experience this as truth, as reality. This increases your energy for strong comprehension of reality. This experience is much more real than your waking fantasy sense world. When uncontrolled, distracting thoughts come during meditation, realize that not only you, but also all other sentient beings are in the same situation. In the same situation of not being able to control the mind. On this basis, cultivate equilibrium and loving kindness for all others. So your uncontrolled, distracted mind becomes a resource for the development of loving kindness. So when that distracted mind arises, direct that intense awareness of loving kindness towards your own consciousness, towards yourself. So Lama Yeshe says you can meditate two ways here. Either place intense awareness on your own consciousness, or when distractions arise, direct intense awareness of loving kindness on your own consciousness. And he suggests to alternate between the two. So just let's try this for a couple of minutes. Alternating between intense awareness on your own consciousness and intense awareness of loving kindness on your own consciousness. And feel the difference. How does that affect your heart? Now your loving kindness manifests in your central channel at your heart as a full moon disk. So imagine a moon disk there in your heart chakra, flat. It's horizontal. And we're now moving to the purification of the mind. So at your heart, on top of that moon disk, is standing a radiant blue hum. And recognize this hum is the non-dual wisdom of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Your heart is pure and calm and opened by the radiant light of the moon and the hum. Infinite blue light radiates from the hum. All narrow thoughts disappear, all indecisive minds disappear, all obsessed minds disappear. The radiant light from the moon and the hum fills your whole body. Your body feels blissful, filled with light. There is no room for fanatical, dualistic concepts. So just while we're doing that, imagining this blue light, We'll recite, we'll just chant Hum, 2 minutes. Keep going, and while you're reciting the hum, really try and feel the vibration of the sound through your body. Then feel infinite blue light, like your consciousness. Embrace the entire universal reality. Your intensive awareness embraces all of universal reality. I think he's basically asking you to expand your mind. So feel and be without expectation or superstition. We'll just meditate like this for a couple of minutes. There are 2 essential experiences that we can achieve through this meditation, according to Lama Yeshe: wisdom and method. And he says that the wisdom experience is intensive awareness of your own consciousness. being aware of your own consciousness. The method experience comes when you get distracted and use that lack of control as a resource to regenerate loving kindness. Then when you're free of distraction again, remain in the experience of wisdom. So when your concentration is good, place your attention on wisdom. When you are distracted, generate loving kindness. So this is a little more advanced than we've been doing in the past. And the recitation of the Om Ahum mantra is very useful. So since we're often too busy to recite long mantras, and our practices often fall to one side, you can recite this short one. And this short mantra, Om Ahum, represents all the other mantras. And in particular, when you say Om, intensive awareness is energized and your consciousness awakens within you. This is Lama Yeshe's words. So the purpose of this meditation is, or any meditation, is to awaken us from the deep sleep of ignorance, to awaken us to universal reality, not to our usual fanatic reality. And mantra touches a wider reality than our very, very tiny, small universe where we're obsessed with things and people and food, and all this is very small. So mantra allows us to expand. This is why it's very useful. Everybody just relax. Oh, we lost Shayla. I wonder if she lost internet. Okay, does anybody have anything they want to share from that experience? No? Did you like Lama Yeshe's meditation? You did? Okay. Those of you who are coming regularly, would you like to do it again in the morning? You would? Okay. I mean, you know, like I said, it's a new experience, what he's talking about, meditating on wisdom. So I think, we'll get it. It's just a matter of practicing. And because we've been, oh, there you are. Helen, hi. Okay. Did you have anything you wanted to share? So you're on mute.
Hello, Venerable. Thank you. No, it was, the practice was very beneficial. I would do it again.
Okay, great. Thank you. Nice to hear. So I might introduce it in the morning for people. So it's now 10:28. Does anybody else have anything they would like to say before we go? No. Hin, how are you feeling? Was all that movement too much for your body, or was it okay?
Oh no, not at all, Venerable.
Okay.
I just when I listen to you, there's so many distractions. My son talking, and I listen to your teaching, and just my heart, like kindness and compassion, it all come down.
Fantastic!
Yeah, it just changed in like 1 second. I was so mad at him. I say, I'm not going to do that, so thank you.
So you're saying you were able to get your concentration?
Yeah, yes.
That's fantastic. Well done. Oh my God, that's incredible practice. Because, if you can actually apply that in a real life situation and not, because we're never going to be in that perfect state of in a cave up in the mountains where we don't have any distractions. There is no family. There is no phone there. Your son doesn't know what it is you're doing. And why would he care? Do you know what I mean? So, if he's not necessarily a meditator, he wouldn't understand to stay quiet, right? So So this is also where we have to develop compassion for ourselves and for others, and also to understand that we're never going to have the perfect meditation place unless we have a place up in the hills somewhere, you know. So I think that was an amazing, it was just incredible what you just did. That's incredible that you were able to get really, you were mad at him, you got distracted, and then you went zoom, right down into your practice. You did exactly what Lama Yeshe was telling us to do. So well done. Thank you, Hina. So inspiring. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. Lots of love. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining. And I look forward to seeing some of you next week. Okay. Thanks for hosting, Michael. Okay. Lots of love, everybody.
Take good care.